welcome viewers. World is now witnessing a rapid Cold War era built up in the expectation that Russia may invade Ukraine. Why Russia is going to invade Ukraine? Why the world is so worried about Russian invasion of the Ukraine? There are so many uncertainties built around this political saga. First of all, we need to know that Ukraine was once part of the USSR. After the breakup of the Soviet Union in 1991, Ukraine became a sovereign country within the Europe. Slowly and steadily, Ukraine is falling towards NATO alliance because of the NATO alliance led by United States of America wants Ukraine, which borders Russia, to checkmate the forces of Vladimir Putin, the Russian president. All of a sudden, why Russia wants to invade Ukraine? How Ukraine is an integral part of European security? Let us discuss these things here. Ukraine, as we told earlier, is part of the USSR. After the disintegration of USSR, Ukraine was made a sovereign country. In run-up to 2015, Russia invaded a part of Ukraine known as Crimea, which is in the Black Sea island, and annexed Crimea from the Ukraine. Why? The Russia thought that Crimea becomes an integral strategic part to secure its borders from the Western NATO alliance. As you know well, that Russia is one of the largest exporter of petroleum and gas products. And to date, Russia is the largest producer of compressed natural gas. And Europe is the biggest customer for Russian gas. Even though Russia exports quite a chunk of gas reserves to countries like India, China, but Europe remains its biggest market for its natural gas. Many of the pipelines that supply natural gas from the Russian gas fields to Europe runs through Ukraine. Ever since the partition of USSR, Ukraine started arguing and negotiating the charges, transportation charges of the natural gas from the Russian suppliers like Gazprom to European countries like Germany, Poland, France, and even Bulgaria. After the assumption of Vladimir Putin in power, he stopped negotiating with Ukraine and started thinking of routing the natural gas from the Russian oil fields to the European countries. Two other gas pipelines. One is called Nord Stream, which runs through Bulgaria to the Turkey, and the second one, Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, that goes under the Baltic Sea. That is the crux of the problem between Ukraine and USSR. And the second trigger for Russia to invade Ukraine is and with the slow and steady movement of Ukraine towards the NATO alliance, and that Russia doesn't want NATO to be at its borders with Ukraine. And the main trigger seems to be the economic sanctions imposed by US and its allies on Russia after the annexation of Crimea Peninsula of Ukraine by the USSR in 2015. Ever since, the Cold War began to loom around Europe, and Russia is not heeding the Western Alliance advice to remove its troops from the Ukrainian border. Added to that, Germany, which is the largest investor of Russia, because Germany is so far the largest investor in Russian market, because Germany sells most of its branded luxurious vehicles in Russia, and in turn it imports natural gas from Russia. To bypass Ukraine, Russia started building Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline to supply gas from the Russian Bay in Navre to German port of Hamburg through Baltic Sea. The construction of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline completed in September 2021, and the final certification is pending for the commencement of the supplies of natural gas. Europe, as it is facing shortage of natural gas. In this situation, Russian president wants to leverage this gas supply to European Union against its political hedge. Any incursion of NATO alliance towards the Russian border countries like Poland, Ukraine, or for that matter Lithuania is going to raise the expectation and tempers within the Russian democracy. In order to avoid this one, Russia started build up of its armed forces along the Ukrainian border, thereby prompting the steady and slow response from the NATO alliance partners led by USA. In this situation, whether Russia actually invades Ukraine, if it invades Ukraine, what will be the global scenario? Already past 1 week has spooked the global stock markets with the expectation that any invasion by Russia on Ukraine will result in tumble of global stock markets and also choke the supplies of natural gas to European Union, which is facing shortage in this height of the peak winter season. Any choking of Russian natural gas to European homes may result in catastrophe. People may face a lot of problems. Governments will be under tremendous pressure to avoid that one. On one hand, America is persuading the Russian delegation to withdraw the troops from the Ukrainian border, and on the other hand, NATO alliance is preparing for the eventuality of any Russian invasion into Ukraine, thereby the disruption of the natural gas supplies to Western Europe. America and its allies already started negotiating with other prominent gas suppliers like Qatar, which has second largest gas reserves after Russia, to pump in natural gas through cargo ships to European ports. This is the scenario right now playing. If suppose in the coming days Russia do invade Ukraine, that may result in global disruption of the oil and natural gas supplies, and natural gas and oil may see hike in the prices, thereby affecting the economy of the world, including largest importers like China and India, which in turn may reflect on the global economy. In all likelihood, Russian President Mr. Vladimir Putin may not attacking Ukraine, but the steady build-up of the Russian forces on the Ukrainian border may destabilize the equilibrium of power in the European shores. We have to see how either side will come to a conclusion whether to invade Ukraine or not. Already 2 rounds of negotiations in Geneva between the NATO and led by America and the Russian alliance did not yield any concrete result. Yet they will be meeting for the second time on February 15th, by which time let us hope that Russia will not invade Ukraine. Any adventure by Russian forces into Ukraine may result in the tumble of the world economy, which is not good for this world, which is already reeling with the pandemic and coronavirus induced economic hardships for millions and millions of people. Let's hope that Russia will not invade Ukraine. We will have a second series in this program. Do watch second video. Thank you.